There's a kendo stick and a popsicle in my mouth.
All right, then.
Welcome, everyone. We're on to a podcast. It was really cold. Garrett, you start. Holy shit.
Hey, guys, what's going on? It's the Radio Podcast.
Didn't think that through.
We got me and Charlie here this week. As we said last, I think we said last week Brady wasn't going to be on, right? Yeah.
Yep. Santa Cruz, Mexico.
Cruises to Mexico.
First pick in the draft, so he's hammered some brewskis for that.
Brewskis. Yeah, boy. All right. So Raw and Smackdown happened this week.
Yeah.
They were a thing.
Overall thoughts? I mean, I think it was week wrestling.
Yeah, I felt like there was some missed opportunities, like always, but like weirdly enough, they were on SmackDown this week. I don't know what it is. It felt like it's starting to the deepness of both rosters is starting to shine a little bit, and it's really going to hurt SmackDown here in the coming months, I think.
Definitely, yeah.
Because who does SmackDown really have, like, at all?
The GOATs.
Yeah, the top level guys that are the only top level guys, and then like AJ Styles right below them, and that's like their whole thing. And then Jinder, don't hinder Jinder. But yeah,
Hard Body Mahal. All right.
Yeah.
So Raw starts out. We get Kurt Angle coming out. I'll never get old to hearing his music hit. It's fun as hell.
It always is.
It comes out talking about the Strowman injury. Strowman's out up to 6 months. That's a work, which is good because they had to clarify that because everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
We all freaked out. You sent me a screenshot in our Raw Deal chat that we have, and behind the scenes info.
I'd say I think this was necessary to kind of start out with because we've been saying this is their hottest rivalry that they've had on the show, and it's coming to a standstill. So I think it was a big need to address, and I like that they had Angle come out and do it right away. What'd you think?
Yeah, so like I think like Angle hasn't been on the show in like what, a couple of weeks or something like that.
Feels like it.
It feels like because of the UK episode, maybe it was just a week, but he was gone, and it felt like even though he was he was backstage the last couple of weeks before that. That's what it was. But yeah, I mean, it felt like that's what was necessary with this segment. Was like I feel like Braun is like their top guy overall right now at this point. Like he's surpassed everybody. He's the GOAT now. You know,
yeah.
Braun is the best. I'm a huge Braun fan personally. And I want to see him do well, but it sucks that he actually got hurt because I mean he's notoriously a safe worker, like one of the safest big man workers ever, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like he trained with the Big Show and Mark Henry to make sure that he was going to be safe. And like Chris Jericho said on his podcast where he had the club on, he was talking about how actually when Braun Strowman was on, he was talking about how him and Strowman were like in their first match, and Strowman just picked him up and was really safe with him without Chris having to even do anything, like he was like, wow, that surprises me, because he was like, oh gosh, he's green and huge, and that's usually the worst combination, and
it's usually not a healthy start.
Has he injured anyone? I don't think he has, so that's really good for a big man. Usually one big man injury usually happens, and that's how they learn, oh, I'm not going to do that again. So yeah, I think they had to address that he's not going to be on the show. I think that they did this work though, just so that they can, when he comes back, he'll get a huge pop. And I don't know, he's kind of a baby face anyway. It doesn't really matter if they make him one or if he acts like a heel or whatever. That's why everyone likes him, man. And they can't change that, although they'll probably try to. But yeah,
I think it could either leave it open to him against Brock at SummerSlam or him and Roman again. So they got options. That's for
sure. I would prefer to see the finish to that feud because I feel like if they actually do it again, they'll do it right. But yeah. Feel kind of robbed. I wanted to see it at Extreme Rules. Can you imagine an Extreme Rules match between those boys? Oof.
I know, right?
Oof. Strowman gets put through like 18 tables at once. They all don't break. Yeah. So that was a pretty good opening segment. I mean, I felt like they could have maybe someone else could have come out. Like, did Roman come out? No, Roman didn't even come out, did he?
Well, actually, there's a whole other part of this. In the promo after all this, he says, well, we got to find out who's going to face Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, boy.
And that's when they pull up the Fatal 5-Way.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, so and then like all the respective people came out. Yeah, I completely lost that. That was so much happened this week.
Felt like it was later on. I forgot it was boom right off the bat. Here we go.
It was a really long opening segment. That's why it felt like it dragged on, because it did. It was a way long segment. And then the promo kind of felt like, oh yeah, everyone was saying they're gonna win, and it's like, okay, same thing that happened on SmackDown. It's like everyone comes out and it's like, I'm gonna win the belt. No, I'm gonna win the belt, and it's like, okay, like
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. Brock's got the belt. You'll win it, right? Okay, got it. Yeah. I really feel like the only one that can win that belt is like either Finn or Braun. So, like, although Seth could kind of too. I mean, he's been on a hot streak and he hasn't really faced a title match since then. So we don't know what's going to happen with Seth as babyface.
Yeah. Okay, I want to pull this up. I thought it was later on, but yeah. It's basically they announced the Fatal 5-Way. Well, it says this is the beginning of the show. Yeah, Seth,
so
Balor. Those are legit 5 great fucking contenders. I'm just first look. That's what I think.
I would have to agree.
I really think
everyone's mad that Roman's in it, but that's just them. I mean,
it would feel weird if he wasn't, because he's such a big face. He's such a big name. At the same time,
does it not kind of somewhat no-sell the injuries he got from Braun though a little bit?
No, because he's all taped up and shit.
Because it's only 3 weeks away.
Yeah, he's all taped up. I mean, we'll see. We'll see come the time. But Roman's
he'll have a match next
such a good worker that I'm sure he'll be playing off the shoulder injury in the match.
Well, he's already had a match since then too.
Yeah, and he played it. He kept going. Fuck. Best way to put it. I don't know, man. Looking at the picture, I think right away, the dark horse here, I think, has to be Samoa Joe. Fucking.
Well, you've got 3 guys in here on hot streaks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude.
And then 2 guys that are top guys just cemented. To
be real, Joe is the only one that hasn't won a world championship out of these 5 on the main roster.
Yeah, but I don't think he. But could is Brock gonna drop that belt at his first title defense though?
Oh no! I'm not meaning it like that. I'm just saying like that's how well they've kind of built all 5 of these guys.
I actually don't know. It feels like it's not as open as it looks.
I don't think Brock drops it at all. No.
So who do you feed to Brock out of this group? You can't do Roman because you can't derail him before he gets to his feud with Braun again. I mean,
I feel like the obvious choices are Rollins and Balor, but at the same time, not so obvious. How many times have they swerved us?
Do you think they could swerve us even more and say, like, maybe 2 people get a pin at the same time, and then because it's 5 and that's a weird number, they just have 2 people pin at the same time, and then they have a number 1 contender match at, I don't know, something, whatever.
We've seen that whole shtick of someone's getting submitted and they're getting counted out at the same time, or 2 people are submitting them.
Yeah. So like or the double pin scenario that we've seen before. I mean, it could work either way. I
think this was the best thing to do because in this promo, we're still on the first thing. It's kind of funny. In this promo, Kurt Angle made it seem like everyone's battling to get the chance to face the Beast. Like it's a big deal to face the Beast. And I think that went over so well. Just the way that he delivered that promo.
I mean, there's a couple of parts of this. Like everyone's gonna want somebody to win, but like
literally any 5 of them could win for me.
Right, but that's the real wrestling fans. I mean, think about all the people in this matchup we would not have seen in. Like, think back like when NXT just first started. Like that.
I think even a year ago.
You wouldn't have seen any of these people in the spotlight because Rollins probably would have been injured at the time.
Yep, he was hurt. Balor and Joe were not called up, and Bray was nowhere near the title scene.
Yeah, and there wasn't even a brand split yet. So, it's a weird spot. And
Roman was champion.
Roman literally was champion at the time. He just won the belt, I think, or something.
Yeah. He had just beaten Triple H.
It's ridiculous.
and he was defending it against AJ Styles at Extreme Rules, and that's when Seth Rollins came out.
So Rollins would have just been about to come back here at Money in the Bank. Yeah, literally at Money in the Bank is going to be Rollins' 1 year back thing, even though he took some breaks in there. But yeah, man,
Crazy.
I think the landscape has shifted so much.
And honestly, it's not a bad thing either. I'm down with it.
It's really not. Okay, so we took a lot of time on that segment. So I mean, this next match isn't really all that much to talk about. It was Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy again. And it was like, you gotta help me here. I forget what this match was about. It was obviously this is just.
It's the same system that they do with building tag feuds. They do different 1v1s. There's no real story to the match other than the Hardys still haven't lost. That's it. That's,
Yeah, I felt like the segment was just there so that there would be a tag team segment. Was there any other tag team action other than the Cass segment with who was it he fought? Oh, with
yeah. Well, and they had Golden Truth out there doing their thing.
Well, that actually we'll get to that later. That was a whole thing, but yeah. Anyway,
if you've seen these 1v1s before with the tags, you've seen this. And then
actually, I don't have that down. Do you want to? Oh no, never mind. I have that on here. So, sorry.
And then next we go into Sasha versus Alicia Fox again, which it was all right last week. This week they gave him a little more than 2 minutes, maybe 3.
50-50 booking.
Yep. But I think something of note, Alicia Fox came out with Noam Dar, which is kind of cool. Keeping that storyline.
Alicia Fox.
And Alicia Fox got a win over Sasha Banks, 3-time women's champion.
I just really can't force myself to like Alicia Fox. I don't know what it is. Like, she's not bad in the ring. She can hang. She's not bad on the mic. She can hang. She's just palette swapped version of other people we have in the company. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm definitely not some diehard fan, but I can appreciate, how Raw is trying with other women that they've had for a while.
This is also
finally trying.
Well, they've been trying to have like secondary women's feuds, and it's like not worked any time, and it's still not. I mean, they need to really get their writers to focus on that. If they want to have a second women's angle, they need to be like, this is the month of the women or something, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is the time that I'm gonna become the #1 contender while this other feud is going on, or something. Something. Give us something more, because these segments are good. I like the ideas, but they just can't get with what they want actually to do.
Yeah.
You can tell that they're having issues with actually writing this, because maybe, I don't know if it's like some of the older guys there, they just don't respect women as much, or because it's the way they are, the way they were raised, or if it's actually just the women not being able to hang, because it seems like they kind of got robbed in the whole. They got Alexa Bliss, but who did they lost? Charlotte, who was like most of the women's division,
Well, they got a 2-for-1. They got Alexa and Mickey for Charlotte.
But what is Mickey doing right now? Nothing.
I feel like it's a little bit better, because I think I've liked Alexa more than Charlotte recently, but that's just me.
I think Mickey's the only person from the shakeup on Raw that didn't get thrown right into a feud.
Yeah. Well, she jobbed out to Alexa Bliss a couple times for the whole Raw. They would only have the SmackDown people face each other. Really weird that they did that, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought, I'm starting to look at Raw a little differently now. It's not like it's the less great or anything, but there's just these weird things at the beginning of these shows. It always happens. I think that's what I was saying the one time. Sometimes they sacrifice the first hour so that they can get a better second and third hour. But anyway, moving on. We had the Intercontinental title on the line in the third match of the night. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Just wow. All right.
Which was something that they pushed as the biggest thing of the show until that previous opener.
So, The Miz fought Dean Ambrose again for the 7,000th time. Like, they've had another good match. Moving on. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, they've had this match too many times. If they were gonna, this should have been an Extreme Rules match. It would have helped to just end this feud once and for all, or something. Be like, Ambrose will be like, I mean, that's what it's going to be now. But, it's not, but like, is that even going to be for the title now? Because they had a match on Raw, and he's no longer number one contender. How does that work?
Babyface kicking the heel in the nuts. That's always lovely.
I just, it made Dean look weird too because the ref was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Did you see what he did?" He's like, "I don't know, I didn't see nothing." He's like, "Oh, all right." Didn't look very babyface when he did that.
Dude, I've been saying for a minute, Dean needs to turn heel.
This didn't feel like that though.
He's at the point where he needs it. I mean,
he's needed it for like the last couple months. Let's be real.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go on a limb here. This was Ambrose's best match since the TLC one with Styles. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one after WrestleMania with Corbin on that SmackDown was pretty good, but it wasn't anything spectacular. This match, I don't know, dude. I was into it from top to bottom. So I think that's good for Ambrose, especially after his Stinker Mania match. And just the guys just had.
But
had
if they were
issues
going to
since
have
the
a
whole
good
Styles
match,
thing.
they should have had it on the pay-per-view match.
They should have. And then I agree with this. I think the booking at the end was kind of dumb with the, Ambrose kicking him in the nuts because he's a face, but that's just weird.
It's not a very babyface way to lose a match for your title on purpose, like because that's kind of what it looked like because it didn't.
That's
really...
a heel thing. Neville literally just did that.
Yeah.
Throwing the ref.
Yeah. He did that at WrestleMania. I mean,
so,
or no, that wasn't a Mania. That was
end, but the match overall, I really think this was Ambrose. Ambrose looked good for the first time in a while to me,
But Ambrose's best day is nowhere near any other guy that's like his level on the roster that gets paid as much as he does on the roster.
That is true.
Good. It's not there.
Because he's in the top 10 of paying too.
Yeah, I just saw something about like how they get paid today, and he gets. I'm not going to say because I'm sure he wouldn't want us to talk about what he gets paid, but he gets a pretty good chunk of change every year.
Yeah, he's making 7 figures.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, like I'll say later when we're on the stream, but yeah.
Ambrose deserves it because like that stat we went over in 2016, maybe it was 2015. He did the most matches out of anyone in the company on the road. So,
and that's with guys like John Cena and AJ Styles and other really, really like all the time workers,
Mm-hmm.
Like man, like think about how many house shows he would have had to have done, dark matches even, like I don't even know if they get paid for those matches that don't get seen by anybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all just salary based. So, it's a monthly thing. I'm sure that I don't know how much of a difference it is to them going out there on a Thursday night show in front of a couple thousand people compared to Raw. Actually, it's not even that. It's probably under 1,000.
Yeah,
on some
hundreds
shows.
of people, like.
Yeah.
But those are supposed to be some of the best shows because it's a lot because the wrestlers take it as a challenge because it's a lot harder to get a crowd of like 40 people to like you than a crowd of like 40,000 because.
I went to one live show and Ambrose faced Kevin Owens. That was before that whole feud started, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is great!" Next thing you know, they're doing that feud. But then we go to Alexa Bliss addressing the universe, WWE universe, and the best line I remember she just walks out there and she's holding court like she does, which she does very well as a heel. And the best line she called New Jersey, which is where they're at. She called them the sweat glands of America. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the Bayley comes out.
Did her Bayley thing.
Something on the main roster they've done to Bayley instead of they've been referring to her as a little kid, not like a little kid, as a little kid.
As a fan, not as a superstar.
Yeah. There's a big difference between like a fan or that she
was a fan, is a fan, continues to be a fan, but to say that
they treat her like she's 6 and not that she acts like she's young.
Well, it doesn't help that they're showing pictures of her from when she was like 12, 13 or whatever, when she was like meeting women wrestlers at the time, like
yeah.
It's
they do their whole thing. There's a bit of a brawl. And then Alexa Bliss, like the badass she is, grabs the candlestick, whacks her ass, and then she looks so like cool. You know, like that movie character, just cool aspect when she's holding it out, just like, yeah, bitch, what's up?
She looked like a ninja holding it.
Dude, she looked, you know, she looked like a rock star definitely after she whooped Bailey's ass with that stick.
Yeah, I think that was her breakout moment for the Raw crowds. The SmackDown people already knew, like, oh yeah, this chick. But you know, like no one really. I mean, they're not even calling her 5 Feet of Fury anymore, which again I think will help her, because it's hard when they pair them with similarly sized people a lot for these matches. That you can't really tell that she's that small, and so you're just gonna assume. And then when she gets against a person like, I don't know, Nia Jax or something, because she'll eventually will probably have to. Because I honestly don't think she's dropping that belt back to Bailey anytime soon. I think Bailey will get that title back, but I think Alexa's keeping that belt.
I think they realized it was kind of cool, but it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way of when they were hopscotching that thing or hot potatoing it. Because I'll still say to this day, it does not feel like Sasha Banks was ever a champion. I cannot remember her being one like well.
Did she win any of the pay-per-view matches against Charlotte at all?
Nope, not one. She won it 3 times on Raw. I remember her winning it like the night that they came back after the split. That was it.
That is depressing.
You know, her longest reign was 27 days, if I believe.
With the
not 100% sure, but
but I mean, yeah, that's.
I'll get that right now. Will you go to the next thing?
Yeah, so we had a cruiserweight match again. They're doing this one cruiserweight match a show thing for Raw now. It kind of helps, but like, there's so many slots to fill. We've been okay with them just sticking a random cruiserweight match in there when they don't need to, like.
And they don't give us like the crap ones. None of them are crap, but I should say like they've been booked as crap so far.
Yeah,
they give us the big dogs.
Now the storylines are starting to seep in. Like, I can't wait for. I'm already hyped for whenever TJP fights as a face against heel Neville. Like.
Yeah. Yep.
It'll be awesome. I mean, yeah. I mean, and especially with the contrast of their music, can you imagine that entrance sequence? That'll be great. But like, yeah. I mean, like, so it was what? It was TJP and Neville versus Gallagher and Austin Aries, right? So.
Yep, that's been the squad for a couple.
That's the cruiserweight squad, the Raw cruiserweight squad, because no one knows about anybody else that was on Raw like 6 months ago. That doesn't matter. They're trying to make you forget about that with these 4. This is going to be the feuds over the next few months, because if either of the faces win, that means TJP will probably go after the title because he's won some matches. If Neville retains, then TJP and him will continue doing their thing. It's kind of like the Jericho and Owens thing. Like, as long as they go in one of 3 directions, it'll do well. And if they decide, well, we're just going to end it and send the other guy to SmackDown, then it'll be whatever, like, whatever. Yeah. There's a couple ways they can go with this. I like this match itself. I don't think was anything in particular. The ending was weird, I think, right? Like,
yeah, crowd didn't really care too much about it either.
Yeah,
which never helps anyone, but
especially the cruiserweights, because that's their whole thing. They're the crowd pleasers, like that's why everyone over like that's why one of the most popular divisions on Impact for the longest time was the X division, because the cruiserweight people, when they have a division where they can be separate and they can all be with those dudes where they can match them in style and stuff, it works. I mean, like, I just feel like I'm already getting bored of Austin Aries versus Neville. Like, either give Aries the belt or send somebody else after Neville.
Absolutely.
Like, these are the 3 guys that have been feuding with Neville recently. You know what I mean? Or with Neville recently. So, I mean, can't complain too much because we had a good cruiserweight match at Mania and then followed it up with an even better cruiserweight match at Payback. Again, I can't complain. I just want to see this continue, and I feel like they're going to mess it up, because they did every time that they've had some momentum with these guys. So maybe
the ball has been dropped.
Yeah. They had an opportunity to shoot Gallagher into the stratosphere by giving him that belt at some point. They just decided, well, we're going to abandon that feud because Austin Aries is back. And don't get me wrong,
never ever went to Brian Kendrick. I understand what What's it
People
called?
are in retrospect are also now saying that they maybe should have never gone to Perkins,
They had to.
or maybe he should have lost
The
it
way that they
quickly.
did it, they had to. But I'm saying like Kendrick, he's a great person, and he was a WWE superstar for a long time, and at one point the longest tag champ in history until New Day, just recently. And I like Kendrick, but with the agenda they were trying to push with the cruiserweights of they're fast and crazy and Kendrick was not that. So, you know, it just was not the right time for him to win it at all.
When is the right time though? Like I almost feel like you have to have him get sick of the cruiserweights and be like, actually, I'm 206 now, and then go to like the mid card or something. Because I could see Brian Kendrick working in the mid card. That craziness, we could use a guy like that. Could you imagine him joining the Wyatts or Sanity when they came to the main roster? You know what I mean? He'd fit right in either one of those.
He'd immediately be booked, higher than some people. Kurt Hawkins, Aiden English, he'd be way better off than those guys.
He'd be booked higher than Apollo Crews. Let's be real,
Yeah.
Like I just think that they just need to take the opportunity with that guy and move him out of the cruiserweights because it's really hurting his ability to come back if they just throw him in with those guys and say, well, because you're a smaller guy and you were successful. Because people liked Kendrick. People just like Kendrick, like Kurt Hawkins. People liked Kurt Hawkins before. It's not like they had to treat them like they're these duds. They never were. They were popular. They just got left behind when the land split happened.
Yeah.
What's the next thing we got?
We got the takes us into our back to the women's. So Alexa Bliss and Bayley. Well, actually, Alexa's not involved in this. Bayley's talking to Kurt Angle. He's like, you know what, you're right. I got your back. She's like, I want another chance at my title. La da 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 da. I just need to get revenge. And Kurt is acting like a complete babyface here, which is I like. I saw people kind of bitching about it, but he was like, you know what, you're right. We need to do something about this. And he was like rooting for Bayley is what it felt, is what it kind of gave off. And I liked it. I thought it was a nice aspect to the character of him. And basically, he gave Bayley and Alexa Bliss or they're gonna have a women's title match at Extreme Rules, and it's a kendo stick on a pole match. No idea how this is gonna work. I imagine a kendo stick like hanging from something like a little action figure, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I just don't know.
How do you win?
But
I think I know how you win. You get the kendo stick down and you hit somebody with it.
I feel like that would kind of kill the point.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be like just a straight up Extreme Rules match. I'm not gonna lie.
That seems like that's what it should be, but especially with the way they booked that segment, that should have been. Well, I'm gonna make an Extreme Rules, or you know what? They almost could have made it. I'm still wanting this. We still haven't. Have we even gotten a women's ladder match?
Nope.
We need one. Money in the Bank.
They might. Yeah, they might.
Let's do it. Maybe that's their plan, but who knows? I mean, that's what they should have done. They should have been like, I'm going to make it a ladder match. But you know what? Since it's on Extreme Rules, you can use whatever you want or something. And be like, well, we already knew that. It's
whatever you want. All right. But I looked up and did a little research because we were talking about that. And Sasha Banks' longest title reign was she held it for 2 times at 27 days and 1 time at 20 days.
Wow.
It literally feels like she's never had the belt.
Because she hasn't.
I'm just going to display this for the screen here.
You do.
Because I'm sure people want to see it. Let's see. Share. And I'm going to pull up the stats. This is the Raw Women's title stats in total.
All right.
As you see, we got Charlotte with 113, which is a good reign. Then Sasha 27, Charlotte 43, Sasha 27, Charlotte 29, Sasha 20, Charlotte 57, and then Bayley 76, and Alexa Bliss 16.
And Alexa's not dropping that belt anytime soon, so potentially she could have the longer reign.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
So, I mean, doesn't that just kind of put it all in perspective right there?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's like...
And just to compare, it's off subject, it's off topic, but it kind of has to do with it. It's the SmackDown women's, 84-79, and then 40 and 45. But, this 45 is going to be extended out till at least...
Alexa held that belt for 70 days the first time? Wow. That's pretty good for the first time you hold a belt.
And honestly, she probably wouldn't have dropped it had they have known. I don't know. Alexa Bliss, man, she's pretty. She's the one I can't believe how far they've come since shakeup or draft.
Yeah.
But yeah, kendo stick on a pole match. I
Sounds
like
like some kind of sexual innuendo. I mean,
you.
yeah, I don't really care. They should have just either made it an Extreme Rules match or a ladder match. I just want to see a ladder match with the women at this point since they've opened it up. They kind of forgot that they opened all of the matches up, but like maybe they didn't. I don't know. There's got to be plans with this, but I mean, I want to see something interesting. Like have we?
They might
I don't
say
think we've ever.
Sasha Banks.
Maybe, but I don't think that they. I mean, have they had a women's Extreme Rules match? I don't think so.
Well, they had a no DQ match.
No DQ matches are one thing, but like actually intended for Extreme Rules. Like if they're gonna have a gimmick match at Extreme Rules for the women, why not just have a gimmick match? You know? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that the point? There's supposed to be like 3 of these matches on each of these shows. So let's make it. Let's see. If I make up 3 matches, obviously there's going to be whatever the main event title match is. Oh no, it's not going to be a title match. Whatever the main event match is, the 5-way. But maybe you do Extreme Rules for the Intercontinental. We already have Extreme Rules for the Intercontinental title, so then you do the women.
Well, remember, it's actually not. It's a no DQ match
for the IC title.
So stupid. Yeah.
Oh,
they announced it as a no DQ.
So there's not going to be any Extreme Rules matches at Extreme Rules. The Hardys are going to have one, right?
Yeah. Hardys and Cesaro. Yeah.
But they're going to have one match and they're going to make it. Man.
Is there any singles feuds that they could do for it? I don't.
Joe and Rollins would have to have a match.
Yeah.
And they're not.
You know, maybe the Fatal 5-Way is Extreme Rules.
It says it said it haven't announced it that way yet, and
they'll probably switch it. They'll switch one of them to it. Maybe Miz and the other one. Yeah. I'm not too worried about it. I think they know.
Yeah, I have no idea. No gimmick matches have been announced except for the women's one.
Kendo stick on a fucking bowl.
Jeez. All right, where are we at next?
The first announced match from the first promo. That first promo did a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it set up it was what first promo should be. It set up the rest of the show, and like that's what I like in Mick Foley being like, because when Mick Foley was GM, he was out on Raw like every week pretty much that he could be. So, and I like that Angle's keeping that up. So
absolutely,
we had wow, there wasn't that many matches on this show either that I'm looking. We had what was it? It was Reigns versus Balor, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, I was glued.
This was a rematch from when Finn first came into the company. His first night on Raw came out, and Roman was like, "Well, I want to fight you since you're so big," and he's like, "All right," and then he beat him, and so Roman finally got him back. Wait, I don't mean you want to talk about what actually happened in the match? I mean, there wasn't any really particularly good spots. I don't think.
Yeah.
We said it a lot on this show.
Well, we could dive into each thing, but I think in total it just it was a good length. I was entertained the whole time.
Yeah. I felt like I got a little bored during it. Like I felt like they just dragged it out a little bit.
Fair enough.
Maybe they had like a plan that they just didn't, like they messed, then went botched something or something, and they just didn't know. But it looked like Finn might have gotten like jarred his knee a little bit. I think in the match a little, like maybe he was just overselling. But I don't know. It just seemed like maybe he got like a little strain or something that he doesn't have to worry about. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Reigns got back his win that he dropped to Finn, the infamous one.
Yeah, that was fucking huge. And then Finn went on, won the first title. That's still one of the craziest things that I've seen them do while watching. Yeah,
I was shocked when I saw that. I wasn't even able to watch at the time. I was still getting the results the next day or that night or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't really have much to say about this. It was pretty good. If I was going to give it a rating, I would give it like, I don't know, 3 stars or something. I don't know. It wasn't that good, Yeah,
if these guys were the direction that they went for the Universal title, and they had a feud against each other at pay-per-views, I'd be down.
It'd be like the Styles feud, though. That's all it would be.
I would be down with these guys.
Yeah. The next, obviously, most important thing that happened on the show, Charlie.
Oh, yeah. Golden Truth breaks up.
Finally.
Their inspirational promos, it's been like, I was thinking, I'm like, damn, maybe they will fucking have a nice little Golden Truth title little bit here. Throw them against the Hardys just because they can.
Well, hey, it happened to Breezango. Could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
Like
And then Goldust gets out there, beats the fuck out of R-Truth, and he looks like a cold-blooded killer. You couldn't have done that anymore.
something I would like to point out is two teams that came out at exactly the same time, Breezango and the Golden Truth, are look at where they are differently now, in a year's time or so. You have the Golden Truth just broke up and Breezango going for the tag team titles, getting wins every night on SmackDown.
And the whole thing was done to make Golden Truth. Like, Breezango just happened.
Yeah, that organically grew. And that just shows that WWE has no idea anymore what will work and what will not.
Yeah.
They picked two guys that have been around since the Attitude Era in wrestling all over the place, put them together. It didn't work. And they put two young guys together that everybody liked, but just didn't have anything for. And it worked way better. And that should show a lot, Like,
yeah,
two characters whose whole appearance is their gimmick don't work because they have to have someone that can talk. And R-Truth can kind of cut promos, and Goldust can kind of cut promos. But they've always needed someone else there with them in a tag team. I mean, I don't remember when it was like Goldust and Stardust. I'm pretty sure it was probably Cody cutting most of their promos. Like,
oh yeah, that was a nice little run.
I mean, like, but then then obviously events took place after that where we didn't have Cody anymore. But like, it just feels like this is a really good allegory to show you how when we come on here and we talk about how like we know it better than WWE, it's because it seems like we do at this point. Maybe not us, but other people like us that do shows like this. We've been seeing this for the last couple of years. They really have no idea. And so what really tells us is that they have people that are combing social media looking for the things that they should do, and they're taking bits that they actually like, sprinkling those in with whatever it is they think will work, and it makes this kind of like cohesive mess that kind of doesn't really go together.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
And
honestly, I think it's gonna do good for both of them, better than what they were. So this might be our Extreme Rules match.
Yeah, it could be. I hope not.
A career versus fucking something.
R-Truth accidentally pulls out a ladder and runs. Just like, I'm out.
I don't know. This could be good though. Just having a heel Goldust, because you always need someone to put the faces over, and Aleister Black probably coming up soon. So
yeah, probably. Because
we can't hurt
the main roster. Be nice. Oh man,
can you imagine? I did not think.
Can you imagine Aleister Black versus Finn Balor for the title?
Man,
with Balor Club in full effect.
Bro, you can put him with any of those five in that fucking thing right now, and I'd be down.
Ooh, Black versus Joe.
That's what's crazy about Raw.
Yeah, dude. Well,
Raw has that ability, but they're so different. Raw just has like super fucking studs like that. But SmackDown, like, I get more intrigued in it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something that they have. I don't. It's that they're not trying to force stuff on us, I think. So the next thing we had was Titus O'Neil and Big Cass had a match. They came out thinking Apollo was going to be fighting Enzo or something, or that Titus. No, yeah, it was going to be Apollo. He thought it was going to be Apollo versus Enzo in Enzo's hometown of Jersey, right?
Yeah,
Jersey. He's in Jersey. Yeah, wise guys. Anyway, yeah, this was a thing. Titus O'Neil got his ass kicked by Big Cass. He knocked him out with a boot, right? Yeah.
Yep, right away.
That wasn't even. And then like Apollo, did Apollo was it a heel turn or was it just?
I would say technically it finally was, because he Titus is heel, Enzo's face, and I think it solidified the fact that he's been coming around to Titus, and he saw Titus getting disrespected, so he backed him up, which I think in turn is a heel turn, which is back-to-back heel turns on 2 segments, which is pretty cool.
Very rare.
I didn't realize they were back-to-back like that. That's pretty cool.
There might have been.
I kind of forgot. I knew that they were both on the show, but I was like, damn, back-to-back? Okay. I'm down.
Yeah, I feel like I was cutting out for a second, but I feel like that we needed something for Apollo's character, and now we know he's like just ruthless now. He doesn't have to have as much of a character because we'll have Titus talking for him. He may do some promos, but I think this is good for him. I think it'll only help him in the long run, especially if they want to bring him back to being a face. Yeah.
And I hope they find their groove with it, man. I hope this was the setup to it, because Apollo Crews is so talented that I hope in a year, how we got the big five in Extreme Rules, we're probably going to refer to them a lot over the next couple weeks. But we got the big 5 in Extreme Rules. I hope in a year we can see Titus and not Titus. Hell no. We can see Apollo in something like that, and it can be like, damn, he fits. You know, he looks as good. We didn't think that was Strowman. Now we do. You know, I hope I hope Apollo. You know, we can see him like that in a year from now, and because he is that good. We just, you know,
Titus is WWE champion versus Big Show in a stairs match.
Yeah, fuck no. And then we had the thing that they pushed for that was the first televised singles bout in the history of the show, and that was Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt. Now, this is my favorite and Brady's favorite on the on Raw, I'd say. 2 of our favorite guys. But that didn't mean shit. You could tell that they just weren't into it themselves. I don't know. It just did not feel like, you know.
Maybe some of their
when you
match
think
got cut. I don't know. It could have been that.
Yeah, when you think of Rollins and Bray Wyatt going in the match, I'm like, on paper, I'm like, holy shit, that sounds fucking, you know.
But then you think about their styles, it doesn't really mix.
But it just,
Did
yeah,
you see
it just
Bray
wasn't.
taking that knee. That is his finisher now. I mean, I don't think.
You know, I gotta say, man, that Rollins is so talented. He doesn't need that, man. He really doesn't.
What would he finish people with? The splash?
Dude, I watched this Seth Rollins video of moves. This guy can do anything in the book, literally anything.
So you think he'd be a knockout artist type character, like where he just picks a different way to knock you out, like a kick.
Well, I'm just saying, like I'm sure he could pick something and roll with it. You know, people have been saying for a while how good his Falcon Arrow is. We'll talk about this in a little bit, but now Fandango's using that as his finisher. So,
yeah,
I don't know. I just think it didn't live up to expectations, and everyone fucking knew that Joe was running him. You knew it was happening. So, you know, that just didn't really help. I don't know. It wasn't the greatest main event. What do you think?
I thought that I agree. It was probably my favorite match on the show too, considering there was only like 2 or 3 actual matches on the show. It doesn't really say much. I mean, in storytelling, maybe it didn't live up to the same thing that Roman versus Finn did because there wasn't that history between Bray and Seth. But you know,
I feel like if these guys had a feud, it could fucking be good.
But they haven't had that feud yet. So maybe if they'd had that feud over on Smackdown or something, which obviously that couldn't have happened. But if they had done that, then maybe, I don't know. It just seems odd to me. I mean, and then like you had the weirdness of like Bray not really. He's still like, nope, I'm working with Joe only for a second. You know, like. I'm spooky. You'll never expect to see what I'm doing. I'm basically Randy Orton from 2008. You know, like,
it just
seems like they just needed something for Bray to do. Like we've been saying that a lot lately. Oh, they just need something for him to do. It's true, they do.
You know what? I wish he was still champion on SmackDown. I'm not afraid to say it. I
can't see him winning that belt anytime soon with any of these names we have going around.
I feel like that should have been switched right from the bat. Bray wins the Rumble. Orton wins the title at Elimination Chamber. Bray wins it back. Orton goes over to Raw. I think it would have just...
That would have been such a better storyline.
Everything would be that much better right now. But,
because
you know,
you could have...
I'm going to take it for what it is. And
can you imagine if Bray was the face in that feud and like, but still doing his heelish stuff, and Randy was like the true heel of that feud after him already being the face in the last time they've...
I mean, heel Orton would fit in this Fatal 5-Way.
He really would.
But we have face fucking Orton against heel Jinder, which heel Jinder is way better than face Orton. I'm not,
Yeah, I'm rooting for Jinder in that match.
That's so fucking crazy to think, too. I am, too.
I just don't want... I want that belt off Randy now, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but I really do.
Unless Orton does some crazy shit and turn himself heel.
But you'd have to have it. It would be looked at as a double turn.
Yeah,
and that would not be good with the way the Jinder's going right now.
No, you got to keep Jinder heel.
That's their problem. They should have kept Bray, because even Bray versus Jinder would be better.
Yeah, heel face Bray.
Mm-hmm.
Never got that. Honestly, we'll do our grades. Reviewing the show maybe get a little different feel on it.
Yeah,
But
true.
I'm gonna stick. Watching this show live, I was not bored. I was feeling more wrestling after, and I think that says a lot. And I think the ending match wasn't my favorite, but I don't know how it opened. It was great. IC match good. I'm gonna say it gets a B minus for me this week. Because I think I liked it more than a C plus, but I didn't like it more than just a normal B.
See,
So I'm gonna say B minus.
I
Go ahead.
have this as an A minus because
Oh, nice.
I feel like I liked more matches. Like there was more matches for me to like on this one than the Smackdown match, and I'll get into why I didn't really like Orton versus Corbin that much. I did like it, but it did. I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, so yeah. My Smackdown grade is probably going to be higher than yours too.
Good shows though. So.
Oh yeah, completely, yeah. So let's see what we got. Oh yeah, we have starting on SmackDown. We have. Oh yes. Oh, you know what? I really did not. I felt like this was a necessary segment to start off SmackDown. So we had Kevin Owens highlight reel.
Oh my God! Yes.
So anyone who's got the internet probably got the update in their YouTube feed recently that Fozzy is taking a tour. So Jericho's gone for probably the next 6 months at least. Probably for the next year.
He'll be gone a good minute until they desperately need him. Then they might be able to do something.
But until then. So we had Kevin Owens taking over the highlight reel, which was just dumb. Like if you're gonna have him do it's because he's no longer going by the whole Kevin Owens show gimmick, so they can't do the Kevin Owens show. I feel like they should have just kept that gimmick show. They didn't have to keep the gimmick itself.
I'm sure they'll bring that back. I think this is just because of he just beat him, and they wanted to address the fact that he's injured and off. I think you can go ahead. I just kind of
I don't know. I feel like they could have done better with this. I don't know. It doesn't even have to be. Kevin Owens came out on Raw for 6 months and just did promos, and that he only did the gimmick show one time, but every interesting promo he did was on Raw's opening segment pretty much. So, I mean, how many times did he just zoom into the ring with all the black around him except for the spotlight?
That was the best. That was the best.
They did like 4 different promos like that. They were all at different times in the set of feuds he was a part of. I mean, and they were all great. Why couldn't they just do that here? I don't know, because I guess they had to address that Jericho's not going to be on the show. Keep kayfabe alive. But, I mean, I don't know. You got anything more to say on this?
Like I said, I think this best thing that this did was let people know Jericho's gone, because maybe the casuals, think the kids that aren't too into it, that they look online and check all this stuff out, they're probably like, oh, I thought it was kind of lame.
Rain sucks, man. Right?
Yeah,
that's what they say.
I didn't like the whole. Let me pronounce it in French.
Yeah, that's dumb.
That was
dumb when Race did it. He does it. You know what I mean? Like
Jinder then came out and did it too. He's like, let me quote Gandhi in Punjabi. Because Gandhi's the biggest fucking evil in the world.
Yeah, well, he did kill people.
It's like,
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. Gandhi.
It's like,
I don't think Gandhi killed anyone. We didn't get in trouble for that.
The best line. It has to do with the injured thing. He was like, the only list he's on now is the injured list, or something like that.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah,
I like that.
I feel like there's a better list. You could do, like the unemployment list or something. I don't know, something.
Certain things can be done here and there, but overall, did not mind it. Let's see.
Ooh.
Now it takes us to
first match of the night.
30-minute match.
Yeah.
Of Jinder Mahal versus AJ Styles. It wasn't actually 30 minutes, just it combined with the first segment because AJ Styles interrupted and then Mahal came out, la-da-da-da. My favorite thing about Jinder is he just calls himself the Maharaja. I really
don't know what it means.
Yeah, no idea. But it works. They had the match. It was going pretty well. Jinder has this knee. And Jinder's a fucking huge dude. I think we looked it up, 6'5". And he does his knee, and it looks like it hurts. And Styles is just as good as it gets. So, of course, he sells it like he just got hit by a truck, and he does a flip. And when you see a man do a flip from getting hit by a running knee, it's pretty good stuff.
I think he just has fun with this selling.
Honestly,
it's kind of
yeah.
I mean, like,
and then at the end, Owens hits Styles in the leg with his title, throws them all off. And then the Maharaja gets the pin, hits him with his for a guy called the Maharaja, and he has that badass knee, and I don't know, his finish is kind of lame. Kind of grabs him like this and then picks him up and slams him. It's a little corny. I mean, it works with how big he is, but
what is it called, the Karas or something?
If everyone had the same finisher, it'd be lame too. So I'll give it to him. Everyone knows what it is already. He's established that. So, I'll get the name for you right now.
Yeah, I think it's the Karas or the I don't know.
It's a Cobra Clutch Slam. It's called the Kalas.
Kalas.
So,
yeah,
you had it.
Right.
Yeah. Honestly,
I mean, AJ can literally put on a match with anybody. We know that at this point. Like even Jinder Mahal. Which
I keep saying it felt like it was a 30-minute match because I remember checking the fucking clock, and it was almost 8:40, and this match had just finished. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, that was impressive. It was like most of the first time. Like
so, what was your take on it all?
So my take on all this, I think, was that they're trying to bill Jinder in a way that they don't have to have him actually win the title, because if he's got the other people constantly, it'll be the same thing that happened with Christian, because whoever was backing him up and helping him win won't be there anymore. He'll lose. The same thing that happened to Kevin Owens. The same thing that's going to happen to, Finn Balor if he starts at Balor Club, So I feel like there's a lot going on at this point with Jinder, and it's got me all of it's got me interested. I hate saying AJ lose because he's really still not to that point where he can just not win and still be okay.
I agree with that, but I think it had to happen.
Yes, they're trying to build Jinder as a monster.
Owens hitting him,
Again, it's like
Singh brothers.
Yeah, again, like with the other involvement, it makes it so Jinder didn't actually do any of this, and so if he does win the belt, they can just have him lose the next night, and everyone's like, oh yeah, like it felt like, I mean, personally, I like this match better than the last match that we'll get to later. But yeah. So yeah, moving on, because I mean, do you have anything you really want to say about it? Like, what was your main takeaway from this?
I think you hit it all. Just how it looks like he hasn't really won a real match, and AJ Styles selling makes everyone look like a fucking beast.
AJ Styles could probably put on like a decent match with Kurt Hawkins and Aiden English in a team,
Yeah, AJ Styles versus Kurt Hawkins, aka Brian Myers, happened at Bola. I have the DVD.
Yeah,
probably. Wasn't a bad match.
See, he could do it with anybody.
Funny.
He probably could have put on a good match with Eugene. Let's be real. All right, just because he would have had enough moves to do, All right, so third thing of the night that happened was we had. Yeah, what happened to your cam, man? All right. Anyway, we had the Fashion Files 3, and I will say this now, and people will probably disagree with this. It's already getting old for me. I'm sorry. Like, it's funny, and I'll watch it, but I'm over it. I want to see them actually cutting promos because they probably can. I mean,
true.
I haven't seen it yet, but if they are as funny in their promos as they are in their segments, it doesn't really matter, Like, I don't know. It just feels like they could. Are either of these guys on Southpaw? Like, are they part of that? If not,
Fandango's actually the biggest one.
Oh yeah, he's one of the commentators. But he looks nothing like himself on that either. They did such a great job with all those. By the way, I found out an exclusive. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the club's old podcast from Japan, Talking Shop, but there was this character that I think either Anderson or Gallows would do on the show, called Sex Ferguson. And that's who the character of Tex is supposed to be based off of.
Oh, nice.
Sex Ferguson. Like, he's not actually that character. He's the PG version of that character. But it's a little Easter egg now. That's cool. Gallows and Anderson are great on that. Yeah, we'll talk about Southpaw at some point. But yeah,
they actually just announced today. Side note that they're doing more of it.
Oh, great! How many episodes are there? I watched like 4 of them or something.
I think 7.
I need to watch.
They're short, little.
Yeah, I watched a lot of them. I just need to get back and watch all the rest of them. But yeah. You guys check that out if you haven't already on the Is it on the YouTube channel and the network?
Not the network. On
Just
the
the YouTube channel. All right, so check out WWE YouTube channel, and then come back and put it on the Raw Deal podcast playlist and go to work or something. Yeah. So
Yeah. So, I'm gonna give my take on the Fashion Files. I'm gonna say,
what stood out to you?
I'm still liking them because they've changed it up every single time, and they're so good that they're gonna be able to keep changing it up. I mean, Tyler Breeze staring at the thing, fucking petting the mob's head, talking about
Looking like Perry Saturn.
How he's gone in too deep, and Fandango with that voice, "I've gone in too deep. This isn't you, Prince Pretty." I don't know. I love Fandango talking like that. They just remind me of this, like it's almost like an American Pie type thing, and it's just that's the kind of comedy that I like watching late at night, just laughing. And Fandango, man, he really makes me think of stuff like that, and it's just I don't know. They can go in the ring. That's not the issue. That's 1,000% not the issue. And my only thing is why I like the Fashion Files more than a normal promo. For how many people, Mojo Rawley fucking perfect. Do we get these backstage interviews, which is exactly what they'd be doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the same two things. I think this pushes them as their own thing, and I don't know. I really think that even 3 weeks in, they're getting better at them. Each thing, the first week we had Jimmy. That's jaywalking and Jimmy walking. That was the best line from that. But I don't know. I think they're getting better. I just.
But it's not a gimmick you can sustain, I don't think.
It's a touch of an Edge and Christian type thing, is what they're trying to do, and it can work if they keep elevating it.
I would almost like to see them do something like what Hulk Hogan. Remember when I don't know if you ever saw this when Hulk Hogan feuded with HBK. That was, he went and made fun of him and dressed up like him. I could see them dressing up like other superstars and actually doing it in a funny way.
I don't know how that would work.
Well, they already dress up in any other kind of costume, so we might as well give them something.
Yeah. Well, I think of the fucking.
Wait, it worked with the Miz and Maurice. Why wouldn't it work with them too?
Yeah.
Some of them, obviously, you don't want to get into like blackface,
true,
brown face, yellow face territory.
I think, and this also kind of tags. Before I say anything.
Check the chat. I haven't listened.
Right after this, they had their. I'll just keep it going. They had their match with the Clones, so they walked out. They have the match of the Clones, which is where Fandango. The biggest note of the match, 2 minutes long. Fandango got the win. Biggest note: Fandango used the new finisher, and he used the Falcon's Arrow that people have been saying for months. Seth Rollins should use his finisher, and now Fandango has it. So I doubt Seth Rollins is going to use it as finisher.
I wouldn't think so.
Then the Usos come out, and see the Usos. They are so much better on a live mic because they're not reading something off. Just like that's why I like this feud more than the Hardys and Sheamus and Cesaro. They're pushing it so different than they've ever done, like a tag feud. Like these guys haven't touched. They have not touched each other once, right? And meanwhile, Sheamus and Cesaro and the Hardys, we see them touch each other every single week. Like they're in singles matches or this and that, which is the traditional thing that we've always seen them do with building a tag feud. How many times in the New Day feuds would they just go, oh, here's Kofi against Titus. Oh, here's Kofi against Bubba Ray. Here's, Big E against the other one. Well, Devon next week.
The other one.
I was trying to think.
Testify.
Yeah, I was about to call him Test. I'm like, that's not it, dude.
Test, oh my.
Yeah, Test, a.k.a. Big Cass.
Wow. All right.
All right, Big Test. But, it just, the Usos on that live hot mic, it is so good. And
you can tell they're letting them just go out there and be nuts. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it works, man. I thought biggest note from the match, my end, Falcon's Arrow, and just the building, how they're building this tag feud, and how I'm more interested in it right now than the Hardys and Sheamus and Cesaro rematch. Go ahead, all you.
All right, I only have a few. I mean, like the Clones still need a gimmick, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're nothing right now.
They just need to get a gimmick, and I think they could potentially be tag team contenders because people have seen that they can actually, when they let them go in the ring, go in the ring. I like their new finisher, but I want to see them get a gimmick. Whatever it is, I'm not the shining stars, but whatever it is. I feel like my biggest takeaway from this was Breezango probably aren't going to win those belts, but they potentially could get a shot, like a rematch. They might be one of the ones that they throw a rematch to so that they can win the belts on SmackDown or something, but the Usos ultimately walking out with the belts at the next pay-per-view or something. I don't know. It depends. Money in the Bank's a weird pay-per-view. A lot of stuff happens on there. So it just depends on what they're planning. I really don't have a whole lot to say about this. This was what it was.
They got 5 tag teams. New Day coming back means 6, and when they get DIY, that's 7. So
if they get DIY,
they'll get DIY. Oh, they're gonna have to give up Asuka though, but they'll get DIY.
All right. So our next deal is. Oh yes. This is the part of the show that I fell asleep on. All right.
Oh.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it was bad, dude. So there was a women's contract signing for a 6-man tag match where the title's not on the line. Yeah. Charlie, go ahead.
Best part about it, Ellsworth talking about how all the ladies want him, but he's not going to give himself to him. And then it broke into a match pretty much, right? Shane was like, hey, we're going to do this the right way on SmackDown. I'm a little tired of hearing that because they do it so much.
No, it led into the singles match. They made a random singles match between Naomi.
Because Kurt Angle does that too. We should settle this in the ring. So now they're both doing it, but I'd rather see a match anyways, a lot of times. But I don't know. Carmella's pinned her twice now.
Yeah.
I really like how they're changing up Carmella's character. I will 100. I'll say that every time. I'm pretty sure. Little side note for the predictions. I really want this welcoming committee to win the match. Because how many times have we said this? If you're
with Carmella getting the pin too,
exactly,
like Naomi or something,
you got to have them win their first match. They have not had a match with all 3 of them yet. They have to win their first one, or this whole thing's fucked, and it was a complete waste of time. Which it'll probably end up being anyways. But it usually turn into 3 different feuds out of this. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I want to see where they go with this. It's really interesting potentially because Naomi versus Carmella is a feud I buy into. Carmella's proven herself in the ring recently. Looks like I'm reading notes right now, but I'm not. I don't know. This is like women's segment again. Like I fell asleep in the middle of it. Woke up at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, that contract signing did not make any sense, man. That was just dumb. That was really dumb.
It was.
You don't do that with 6 people. That's a 1v1 thing, and you should do it once. So, breaks into the match. Anything of note from the match? Other than everyone getting kicked out, Carmella's still getting the win.
Sorry, I about died there for a second. I swallowed some water.
Woo! You all right?
Yeah. All right. Anyway, nothing of note from this really, other than Carmella got another pin.
Yeah.
And what happened next, I thought was more interesting personally. You want to
100%.
You want to get into as my segment or your segment next? I can't even.
Go ahead.
All right. So we had a Sami Zayn promo that was probably the most vicious promo Sami Zayn has cut since he went to the main roster. Yeah, I mean, the guy sounded like a guy I could get behind for once, which is supposed to be his gimmick. He's the underdog from the underground, the indie darling that everybody wants to win but never does. Now he's going to start getting some wins, I think. I don't think he's going to win against Corbin per se, but that could be a really interesting match.
No, man. I think he's going to beat Corbin because Corbin's winning that money. Whoever loses, this might be your guy to win Money in the Bank.
Jinder wins Money in the Bank, cashes in on Randy.
He's probably going to be in it.
Probably. But, yeah, I don't know. I liked this promo, man. And then Corbin coming in and being like, even though I got a match in like 5 minutes, I'm going to totally attack you anyway because I can, you know?
Yeah. He was like, I got my match requested. Or I requested my match and it's been granted. Which it's just...
Again, it's Payback and Backlash. Neither of them have any implications from WrestleMania to do with them whatsoever. And it's stupid. And that's all I have to say.
That'd be a good way to put it. I see. I think I like how SmackDown is using the raw talent they've been given. I like how they're doing it. Personally, I've been a big Corbin guy for a while.
I've always been a Corbin guy. As soon as I found out he was a former Colt, I was like, oh, I'm down. You know.
Yeah.
And then I found out he was 3-time Golden Gloves winner, and I was like, this guy could legitimately beat somebody up. And yeah,
I don't know. I'm hoping for Zayn to win this because I don't want. Because I'm worried if Corbin wins, they're going to push him. You know, maybe a Corbin versus Randy Orton match isn't the worst thing at Money in the Bank, but I'd rather have him almost lose and win the Money in the Bank and hold that briefcase for a while. But that's never a guarantee.
What other main event heels do you have to go after Randy if he does win?
I mean, they can give the briefcase to Rusev. He's another big guy. They're going to have options with that briefcase, man. Luke Harper, Dolph Ziggler. Wouldn't want Ziggler winning it personally, but it's definitely an option. That's nothing on Ziggler, just how his character's been. But yeah, it brings us to our final segment. Randy Orton versus Baron Corbin. You know, this is what everyone thought would be the feud going into Backlash. But
not quite.
Yeah, not at all. No.
They proved that it could be a good match. Randy was not slow in this match, which is
Orton wanted to be a pinfall, and they got jumped after.
Seems legit.
Yeah, I thought Orton beating up the Singh brothers like they're fucking slabs of meat. It's not too good if you want to use them as a tag team in the division. So I hope that they don't. I mean, he beat the shit out of them instantly, like they were J&J Security. So I hope they don't plan on using them as a tag team in the division because it will not work.
Clones versus Sings. Clones versus Sings for the tag titles.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that'll.
That match. It was a match. It happened. It had implications later down the line. We saw that it made Corbin look stronger, even though he didn't really need it. I mean,
exactly. He looked like a star here, regardless of the result. So
yeah,
you
know, we don't really have a whole lot to say on this segment. Do you? You want to move into the stuff that took place after SmackDown?
Yeah, real quick. 205 Live happened. Grand Metalik finally comes back. This is a guy that they could push as one of their biggest guys in that division. I mean, he's so fucking good. Go flip on. Who did he face? I'm gonna sound like an idiot right now.
Who is it?
Was it? I can't even think.
Who is it you're trying to figure out who they faced?
Grand Metalik.
Oh, I have no idea.
He came back. This was his return match. Dude, it's such an obvious name. I just can't think of. Noam Dar. Okay. That's what I thought. So he comes back, face Noam Dar. And well, I mean, it's not like it's a comeback match. We just never see the guy. So, you know, he hit some great stuff. They showed their Cedric Alexander promos. How he's gonna come back. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing from 205 Live. Mainly we wanted to do this to talk about Talking Smack. I just want to add that in. Because I feel like people like him. Eric Rowan has a new character, which is something we've addressed last week. In the sense that he's kind of like a clown now with balloons and how these different masks calm him down or get him all pissed off. I think the best thing was how he was freaking out Renee Young and she went and hid. That was pretty good. What'd you think of it all?
Did you what were you saying?
Oh, I was just talking about how did you get cut out? kind of fight that it went. It went completely silent. Usually there's like a little. I can just kind of one of those things. Basically, the mask is either calm him down or rile him up. And the biggest thing was how Renee Young went and hid in the corner. And they announced the match of Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan, and also Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English.
Pre-show.
Yeah, it makes sense. They're keeping him. They just don't have anything for him right now. It's as simple as that. I'd rather see him in this thing against Aiden English than off the card. So
yeah, true.
Makes
I'm not complaining or anything.
Yeah,
I'm just complaining. I just thought this character seemed a little weird to me.
Oh, he's a fucking freak, dude.
I mean, like, he's basically Festus. I mean,
oh god.
Don't let Vince know that's who Gallows used to be. Yeah. I don't know where you go from that.
Yeah, bro. I don't know, man. I think that's how we end it. Eric Rowan is the new Festus. You heard it here first. Ladies and gents. Did you hear that? There you go. Did you hear what I said, Garrett?
No, I missed it. We're still on, by the way.
I was like, Eric Rowan is the new Festus, ladies and gentlemen. And that's how we end it.
It says we're still live.